What up, everybody? How you doing? Happy 2026 to everybody out there. Hope you had a great New Year's Eve. Hope 2026 got off to a great start for each and every one of you guys and girls. As some of you may have known if you saw my community post. Mine did not. I did not feel good all freaking week. Monday, I felt just off. Like I had no appetite. I barely ate anything Monday. I still went to work. I went to the gym. I was tired. Like I was just exhausted. I had like no stamina. Tuesday, I woke up. I was tired. I went to work again, went to the gym again. No appetite. I had nothing. I had like my little stack of pancakes for breakfast. I didn't eat anything else all day. And I told the guys on Giants Collective, I'm like, I'll try to press through, man. I don't really feel good at all. I'm like, hopefully it's just an hour and we can get out of there. And it ran a little bit longer than I wanted to. And luckily it got off when I did, because I ended up getting sick and I caught whatever that my kid had a stomach bug and I obviously caught it. Tuesday there was no way I could do the Laker game. It doesn't look like I missed much of anything, as once again, they got blown out in a loss. All 11 of their losses have been absolute blowouts. So I didn't miss anything there. After I got sick, though, I felt better. I wasn't nauseous. But yesterday all day, just kind of laid up on the couch. Again, barely any appetite at all. And then last night as I was sleeping, twice I sweat through my freaking t-shirt. So whatever the hell I had, I must have broken it over last night. But I had a bad week. But I felt better today, and I feel better now. So 2026 is off to a better start. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock last night, and I slept till like 10 o'clock this morning. And I guess that shit's been going around. I know a lot of people that have had a different variety of this thing. So hopefully that didn't hit any of you guys or girls out there. But that's why I wasn't live for the Laker game, and why I kind of haven't really been around. Like I said, I've been under the weather, and I barely ever get sick. Like, it's not just my thing. I don't throw up very often. It's very rare, but I don't know what got me. So, but we're back, and we are here to talk a little Giants, do a little hangout. Giants Collective will be tomorrow. Anthony and Adriana had stuff going on today. I don't think Anthony's going to make it tomorrow. So it's be me, Chris, and Adriana's. Obviously, we get ready to end another terrible season of Giants football, and they take on the Dallas Cowboys, which I was hoping this game was actually going to mean something when the season started, and it doesn't. One thing I wanted to mention before I get into the comments and everything and talk about the Giants. I'm not one of these guys. I don't listen, man. If you've known me on here before my channel went in the direction it is, where I do live streams and I talk about the Giants and I stream games and I collab and all this stuff. Before this change happened, I would say right at the beginning of 2018. So like after my kid was born. If you don't know, maybe you don't. I've been on YouTube a long time. I started on YouTube in 2007, late 2007. And back then, the sports community was very small. I mean, really small. There might have been 60 people, if that. And probably 60% of the people that were sports fans that did videos were Cowboys and Giants fans. That's really where this thing started. And what it was just trash talk. That's what it was. You talk trash to other video makers. You'd make a video talking trash to another particular video maker of the opposite fan base. And usually when this first started, it was always Giants and the Cowboys, because back in 2007, 2008, 2009, my first run here, the Giants and Cowboys are both really good. And the Giants obviously won a Super Bowl in 2007, and they knocked the Cowboys out in the playoffs that year. The Cowboys are 13-3. So the verbal wars that went on between the Giants and Cowboys was amazing. And if you were around back in that time, you know what I'm talking about. I was a young man back then. You're talking, that's almost 19 years ago, man. I was 32. I'm 50 now. But, there was definitely a couple of really good trash talkers in the fan bases. And I wasn't the first tier I kind of came on as a second tier. With the Giants, Cop Pizzle's been here forever. He literally is like, when he says he's the longest running Giants content creator on YouTube, he's not lying. He's been here since the inception of this, and he's been here ever since. So he has been here forever. He's a kid when I met Cop. Cop is in college. Now I think Cop, he might be 40 now. I don't know. He might have been 21, 22 back then. He was around 40. I don't know if he is or not, but he's got a wife. He's got 2 kids. He's got a beautiful family. He's an adult now. It wasn't. Duke Bothers is the same thing. He was a college kid. Now he's married. He's got a kid. He's got a beautiful family. These guys are like middle-aged guys now. It's crazy. And over the course of the years, man, I have talked a lot of trash with a lot of people. Even into 2014, 2015, 2016. And there's a few guys that have passed away since. And I'm not usually one to make videos about when people pass away. It's not my thing to do that. Because I always feel like who's really going to watch it, especially if you don't know me from back then. I'm like, who's going to pay attention to that? I don't know how many people from 2007, 2008, 2009 are still kicking around in there. I know a few, but that's it. Obviously, Camel Toes passed away, and it's not like I knew Bobby, but definitely interacted with him on YouTube, and I was sorry to hear that. BVD was a guy that I actually talked to outside of YouTube, and I loved BVD. He cracked me up all the time. He was a Tennessee Volunteers video maker because it was a college aspect of this thing, and he did a morning show with Uncle Lou, and I always loved BVD. I thought BVD was a great guy. I talked to him multiple times outside of YouTube, and it was sad when he passed away because he was a young guy. He was in his middle 50s. But, it's just not my way to do this. But Tuesday, like I said, I didn't feel good at all Tuesday. I felt lousy. I was at work. I'm the only one in the office. I'm just like, I don't want to take a sick day when nobody's here because I'm like, I don't want to take a sick day if I don't have to, especially when no one's there. I can't get anybody sick. I'm like, just get through the day. And I'm just looking at my phone and I see Duke Bothers is live. And I think he said this was for Simus, or I forgot the exact title. And right away I knew. And I'm like, I went to the live stream, like, don't tell me he passed away. And he did. So Simus 1974, man, it's not, like I said, it's not my place to usually go out and say stuff about guys who passed away, but I have to make an exception in this case. I'm not going to say I was best friends with Simus because I'd be lying to you. Not best friends. I might even say I was friends. I was acquaintances with Simus. Another guy. No, I don't talk to many guys outside of YouTube that I deal with on YouTube. It's just not, again, I'm not a guy that talks on the phone. I don't like to talk on the phone. I'm not a guy that texts a lot. It's just not my way. But I did talk to Simus a lot outside of YouTube. Like when Cam Scatterbo broke his ankle, he texted me. He's like, man, he goes, all hate aside with the Giants. He goes, I'm heartbroken for that kid. I love him. I think he's going to be a great player. I remember we had a big time storm up here, knocked my power out. Trees got uprooted. He called me. He's like, hey, man, I just want to make sure you and your family are okay. Simus, man, when I think of the great trash talkers, he's one of the first people that come to mind. In 2008, there wasn't a day that went by for a good 5 to 6 month period where we didn't make a video at one another or didn't go at it in the comments section. I just remember constantly talking shit to him and vice versa. And I think after just a course of months and months and months of doing that, because he's a good trash talker, and I like that. I like guys that can talk trash. And to be honest, a lot of people can't. A lot of people think they're good at it, but they're just not. And listen, I always fancied myself a good trash talker. And if you ask anybody from back in that day, who are the best trash talkers that came out of the original TTC, which stands for Trash Talking Circle, most of the time, I'm going to be one of the first names out of somebody's mouth is Baddog could talk trash. Baddog was the GOAT trash. A-Bomb will tell you. A-Bomb says it all the time. Baddog is the GOAT. When A-Bomb made his video about Simus, he said Simus would rarely give a compliment to anybody unless you were Baddog. Because, again, I think just a mutual respect built between Simus and I with just the constant battles. And, like, he cracked me up. And he was absolutely ruthless. Like, there was no boundaries for Simus. There was no filter with Simus, man. He knew how to hit you. He knew where to hit you. He didn't mind hitting you below the belt either. He didn't give a shit. He did not care. That guy gave no fucks, and it showed. That's typical. That's a typical Gen Xer. We usually don't give a fuck about your feelings. But man, he was one of my favorites without question. And I would go into a lot of his live streams and just listen to him talk about. He loved his Cowboys. I mean, he absolutely loved that team. But he was very harsh about his team and very honest, much like I am about the Giants. But that's a big void, because even though I wouldn't comment, and a lot of times I'll watch guys' live streams, but I don't comment. I just listen to them, just watch them. I'll read the comments, but it's rare that I say anything to anybody in the comment section. But, you know, I'm going to miss Simus because, again, it's just, he's only a year older than me. He was born a year before me. It makes you stop and think. I don't know if it was last year or maybe a couple of years ago. He was in the hospital. He was hanging on for dear life, and he made it. But I don't know what the cause of his passing was, but it sucks. He was a husband. He was a father, and my condolences go out to his family. He's way too young to have left this earth. But I can tell you, man, anytime I watch a Giants Cowboys game now, I'll always be thinking of him. I think of the simpler times on YouTube, the simpler times of the TTC when it was just a small group of guys, a small group of nobodies that really we never thought YouTube would become what it was. One thing I can say about Simus is, you know, he always told me, man, it always made me feel really good. And he would always tell me, Baddog, he goes, I can't tell you how proud I am of you. I can't tell you how proud I am that you were able to get out of the TTC and make your channel into what it is. You know, to become successful. When I saw when you nicknamed Danny Dimes and people, I'm not going to say that I came up with that name. I know I was one of the first people to say it. You can think wherever that came from. Who the hell knows? But Simus always said, Baddog is the first person I ever heard say Danny Dimes, or he would always tell me, you have you have a great talent when it comes to calling basketball games. That was your calling. I'm just really proud of the fact that you could do that. He goes, they showed those reactions to Daniel Jones getting drafted. And he's like, I saw you. I was like, man, my guy made it. Like, I'm going to miss him, man. Simus he was a good dude, and he was one of my favorite people on YouTube. So, I'm not going to say I knew Will, like that was his name. His name was Will. Duke obviously does, but there's some people that will sit there and say, I knew Will. I don't think they did. I talked to Simus outside of YouTube, but I'm not going to say I knew the man like that. I knew him as Simus. I knew him on YouTube. I knew him as a Cowboys fan. I never really got into his personal life and shit. I didn't go back and forth with personal things. I didn't discuss personal things with him. So I'm not going to say that I knew him like that, but I would have been remiss if I didn't say he'll be missed, and my condolences go out to his wife and I think he's got one son, maybe he's got two, but his wife and his family. You're gonna be missed, man. That was a big blow, because he's a cornerstone of what the sports community is on YouTube. I know it's changed over 19 years, and shit changes. I mean, we're talking over a generation. Some of us have been on here, and the sports community started with guys like that. So deserves a lot of respect. He's a big reason the Cowboy fan base is here. He's a big reason for that. And like I said, I'll never forget him as long as I live. So he was a damn good trash talker, man. I enjoyed that very much. Guys that could hang on my level. I did respect the shit out of guys that can actually talk trash. It's an art. It's an art form. And he was an artist when it came to that, man. He was fucking good. And like I said, man, he would say some shit. He would piss me off, but at the same time, he would make me laugh. And I think that was also the case with me. I know I would make him mad, but at the same time, he would have to laugh at it, because he told me, he's like, man, he goes, you and New York Giant pride would fucking piss me off so much. I'm like, I know. That's what we did. You knew how to needle people. A good trash talker knows how to needle, even when your team is ass. All you got to do is look at what, if you follow me on Twitter, just look at what I do to that Eagle fan base on Twitter, man. I have that fan base in knots when I post shit. My team sucks. My team is complete butt. My team is complete cheeks. But all I got to do is make one comment. And like I said, they're up in knots. They don't know what to do. And I love that shit. It's fun, man. It was a good time. But yeah, man, the Giants, well, let me get to a couple of these really quick. I don't plan on being on here very long tonight. Austin, thank you. Joe Judge clown show with Ole Miss. Yeah. Well, they were winning 6-0, but now I saw it was 21-12. I've had it on in the background, but again, I kind of been doing other things. I saw it was 6-0 the next thing, and then I saw it was 12-7. Ole Miss. Next thing I knew, I saw Georgia scored a touchdown, and then all of a sudden it was 21-12. I saw it was 14-12, and I went out to actually eat some food because, like I said, I haven't really been eating because I haven't felt well. But I kind of got my appetite back. It's not the way it normally is, but it's kind of back. But yeah, man. So I have that game on right now in the background. It's just a commercial. I mean, the half times are like 6 hours long. So it's tough for me to stream a college football game. They're so long. Like I want to stream college football games, but they're so long. But yeah, Joe Judge. I'm glad we don't have to deal with it. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the Q&A tonight. Guys and girls, I want you to check out Sleeper. Seriously. They have a great promotion going, as you know. They have daily fantasy contests. They have college basketball. They have NBA basketball. College football is almost over, but they do have college football when it comes up, and so much more on there. You can also play over-under on statistics. It's definitely a fun way to test your sports knowledge and everything else. And almost 11 million people use it. It is a very fast-growing app. They have two awesome promotions going right now. If you click the link in the description and enter the promo code BADDOG, you get a 100% match deposit bonus up to $100 on your first deposit. And if you don't have an account and you want to try it out, all you got to do is click the link in the description, open a brand new Sleeper account, and give you $20 just for using the link. Click the link, open a brand new Sleeper account, and get $20 to try it out for free. You don't need anything else. Terms and conditions apply. Have some fun, win some cash, and test your sports knowledge at Sleeper. Again, all you got to do, man, $10. Throw $10 in it. $10. You're going to end up getting $20. What's $10 nowadays? Nothing. $10 is, you can, listen, man, you can test out Sleeper, right? And you're going to have a lot of fun playing all these prop bets and doing daily fantasy contests for $10, or you go waste that shit on a Taco Bell meal. Like a Taco Bell meal costs $10 now. Who the hell wants to spend that? So click the link in the description. Make a deposit. Use the promo code BADDOG. $10. Try it out. You got nothing to lose. Shit. Aaron, thank you, brother. He said, this year's sickness is rampant. I had a sinus infection. Now it's just tiredness. These kids get everyone sick, clean the schools. Yeah, I definitely got it from my kid. And like I said, man, it's not like me. I don't normally get sick like that. I rarely ever get the stomach bug. My kid will get it. My wife will get it. It doesn't affect me. I'll get like strep throat. That shit happens to me. I'll get a fever. That'll happen to me. But like I said, I rarely ever like throw up. And I hate throwing up. I don't know anybody that enjoys it, but I hate that. It's awful. But yeah, my kid got it. I'm glad he got it the day after Christmas. The day after. He got it the 26th. And I was glad that was when he got it. And not, Christmas Eve, because then we would have missed Christmas Eve. Christmas Day would have sucked. I'm glad that came. I'm glad it came for both him and I after Christmas. So at least we didn't get sick at Christmas, which was a good thing. But it is this year. I remember I was listening to Mike Francesa. Maybe it was after the Giants game or whatever. Even he said he was really sick. His family was really sick. It just is this year. Whatever the hell that thing is that's going around, it is rampant this year, without question. So George Georgia's going to win this game. I can't believe Miami beat Ohio State. I mean, I was sleeping probably most of the day yesterday, so I didn't watch it. I thought Ohio State was going to blow them out. They're even saying before the game that this could be the biggest blowout in the history of college playoff, in college playoff history. And Miami had no chance. Miami kicked the shit out of them. Sling, thank you, man. Giants for he says Giants for life. Man, I'm glad I worked Sundays this year. You didn't miss anything, buddy. You didn't miss anything. Chef Oz, thank you, my friend. We love you. Win or lose, Bad Dog. I appreciate that, man. I love you guys and girls, too. One of these days, our luck is going to turn around. I'm blessed. I got to see Plaxton Cruz in 2 Super Bowls. Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. I'm blessed that I'm fucking old and I saw all 4 Super Bowls. I mean, I would love another Super Bowl, Chef Oz, but it'd be nice just to be competitive. It'd be nice just to compete to get into the postseason at this point for a few years and turn our fucking team around, this organization around, and just become a contender every year and then win a Super Bowl. I mean, I'd love to win a Super Bowl next year, and don't get me wrong, but holy Jesus, I just want to win some games at this point, man. Chrono Cowboy, thank you, man. Should the Giants trade Kayvon Thibodeau? I think they probably should, if I'm being completely honest. The Giants are not in a good cap situation. They're not in a bad cap situation. Abdul Carter could have been drafted to replace Thibodeau. And since Thibodeau has been injured, Abdul Carter's gotten more reps, and he has been amazing the last month of the season, without question. His 50-year option is $15 million, I believe. You would save that. They're going to get rid of Okereke. That'll save another $9 million. I hate to give up on a talent like Thibodeau because I think he is talented. He's had a lot of injury problems. And do you want to give the guy an extension? Because you definitely don't want, because listen, man, Giants fans will have a damn fit if they'll have a fit if they don't extend Thibodeau and they don't trade him and they let him walk. Giants fans are going to have an absolute fit. So unless the Giants plan on giving him a big extension and he's a defensive end, if he's going to get $20 million, $22 million a year, that's what the going rate is for a defensive end these days. He's not a below average defensive end. I wouldn't say he's a great defensive end. He's probably average, maybe a little above average, but he'll just be coming into his prime. Somebody's going to give that guy $22, $23 million. Do the Giants want to give him a 5-year, $115 million deal? Probably not. When you have Abdul Carter on a rookie deal, not when you're paying Brian Burns a lot of money. I feel like it would make sense for them if they could accrue some draft capital. I don't think you're going to get much more than a 3rd round pick for him, but it depends on what they want to do. But I feel like I feel like he's expendable at this point. I feel like they have to do something. I want to talk about Joe Schoen, and we'll discuss this more. Giants Collective tomorrow. The Joe Schoen thing kind of irritates me. This Joe Schoen thing is a disaster. And I am not one. I'm not one of these guys that hates Joe Schoen. Like, I don't think he's done a great job, and I don't think he's done a horrible job. I think that he's made mistakes. I also think that he has done some good things for this organization. I do think that there is some very talented young players here. I also believe that coaching really fucked these players up. Of course, Joe Schoen is part of the coaching hire. He brought in Brian Daboll, which obviously did not work. They ended up with Shane Bowen because he would not fire Brian Daboll at the beginning of the year last year. And we ended up holding on to Daboll for next year, which ended up bringing Bowen back. And now they're both gone. That's definitely on his watch. Evan Neal is his. Jalen Hyatt is his. He has, he's made some mistakes, but then again, he brought in Brian Burns. He drafted Abdul Carter. He drafted Jaxson Dart. You can say that was Daboll's guy or not, but Joe Schoen made the deal. I think, as I mentioned, he brought in Brian Burns. He drafted Wan'Dale Robinson. He drafted Cordell Flott. He made some good. He drafted Micah McFadden. Like, he had some good hits. But at the same time, there's no results in the field. And this is the second year in a row the Giants are 2-13 and won in week 17 to get knocked out of the first pick in the draft. Joe Schoen, in my opinion, needs to be fired. You should do a complete reset on Joe Schoen. Reset. You've already got rid of your coaching staff. Kafka's not going to be back here next year. You might as well just bring in a new GM. Why would you bring in another GM? Well, I'm sorry. Why would you bring in the same GM and just bring in different coaches? Like, I don't really get it. Why would you want him to be part of the head coaching search when he didn't do a good job the first time? What's even worse is if Joe Schoen is not extended, you have a lame duck head coach, and who the hell is going to want to be a head coach when the GM is hanging by a thread? Because if that GM gets fired, if you start off 2-7 and Joe Schoen's gone, you're gone. Nobody's going to want that fucking deal. That's why we're hearing names like fucking Kevin Stefanski and Ryan Day. What the fuck are these names? I don't want Kevin Stefanski as the head coach of the New York Giants. All these names, like me, I'm a Mike McCarthy guy. That ain't a sexy pick. I understand it, but Mike McCarthy knows how to win in the NFL. Mike McCarthy has won in the NFL. Mike McCarthy is a safe bet. Mike McCarthy hires really good coordinators. Mike McCarthy has worked with really good quarterbacks in the past. He's a safe bet. You know what you're getting with him. He's a safe bet. But then there's all these up-and-coming coordinators, and we've seen it work in Jacksonville with Liam Cohen. We've seen it work in Chicago with Ben Johnson. Perhaps it works with a Jesse Minter or a Chris Shula or a Kubiak. Perhaps it does. But if I'm going to get a head coach, I want an established guy like McCarthy, or I want a very hot guy like the ones I just mentioned. I want a hot coordinator. I want a hot name. A young guy with a lot of promise. I don't want Stefanski. I don't want Ryan Day. I don't want that shit. I don't want it. But you're not going to get top candidates, and especially a guy that's, like I said, you're not going to get a really good coordinator, because if a coordinator comes in, if you get a coordinator from another team and he comes in here and you suck, you're fired. What new GM is going to want to hold on to a freaking head coach that just went 3-14 again for the third year? Nobody. So Joe Schoen is either fired or extended. You cannot bring him back here in 2026 with his contract up in the air for 2027. Can't do it. Can't do it. So the Giants are just always in a really shitty predicament. And I'm really sick and tired of them being in a shitty predicament. I hate it. I really hate it. I don't like it. McVay says he wants me in the front office to make him a GM and Shula head coach. That would be, I'd be fine with that. McVay's a very, very smart young guy. I'd be thrilled if that was the case. Shula is a guy that they like, without question. You don't need to trade for Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean's a free agent at the end of the year. You wouldn't need to trade for him. I've been saying on Twitter for probably, a month, 5 weeks, Giants should sign Nakobe Dean. It'd be nice to freaking steal a guy away from Philadelphia. Like, I'd be all for trading Kayvon Thibodeau and grabbing Nakobe Dean. We definitely need middle linebackers in here. And if you ever watched Nakobe Dean play, that dude is a beast. As Ole Miss goes in and scores. It's a good game right now. Yeah, I feel bad for the younger Giants fans like Alex said. I never watched a winning season outside of 2022. I mean, I don't know how old. You got to be really young if you don't remember 2016. But there has not been a lot of winning here at all. And it's tough, man. I say it all the time. It is very tough to cover the Giants as often as I do on here. It just is, because every year it's rinse and repeat. You're 15, then it makes sense, because that freaking sucks. I feel bad for you guys that have never seen the Giants win shit. But it's tiring. It just is. It's tiring because every year it's the same thing. Every year we get excited about the prospects of what could be a turnaround. Every year we get a high draft pick. And we're like, this is the guy. This is the guy. Or we see some of our draft picks play really well, like last year's Malik Neighbors. And we're like, man, look at Leak. Look at this superstar that we got. And, look at how good Tyler Newman is playing or whatever. And, look at this. And, and then Neighbors gets hurt all year. We got our quarterback. Hey, look at we got Abdul Carter, and we signed Javon Holland, and we got Paulson Debo, and our secondary is going to be better. Every year, by October, fucking season's over. Rinse, repeat. Doesn't matter the coaches, doesn't matter the coordinators, doesn't matter the GM, doesn't matter the players. None of it matters. Every year, we get to October, November, season's over. I got to drag my ass around for the next 3 months talking about the Giants, talking about this year. We got to talk about head coaching prospects, but every year is this guy getting fired? Is that guy getting fired? This guy needs to be fired. This year they did get fired. And then here we go again. Get to the draft. We get excited about a draft pick. We feel like, hey, we got a really good pick this year. We added this guy in free agency. Our schedule is going to be easier. We knew we had a tough schedule this year, but our schedule is going to be easier. We moved up. We got more talent. We got this. We got that. And again, September gets here, and every year we start off 0-3. We get to Halloween. Year's over. Drag my ass around YouTube for 3 months talking about this team. Then the offseason, then the draft, preseason, training camp, all that shit. Get excited. We wait 9 months for the Giants. And in 4 weeks, the year's over. Rinse, repeat. Actually, it's more than 9 months. No, it's 9 months. They're done in December pretty much. So wait, not maybe 8 months. You wait 8 months for the Giants to get back, and then within 4 weeks, the year's over. It's really stupid. Aaron, thank you, buddy. He says, any team that gets Nakobe Dean is lucky. He has injury problems, but he is so elite. We just can't afford him. We have Campbell now. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if the Eagles can afford him. The Giants got to make a run at this guy. I love Nakobe Dean since he played at Georgia. His injury problems are why he, fell to the third round. I think he fell to the third round for you guys. And, it just, it'd be nice if the Giants would take a player from the Eagles. That'd be nice for a change. He can play. And you can't, you can sit there and go, the guy's injury prone, the guy's injured. Like, listen, man, we have had this shit happen where guys in college are never hurt, and then all of a sudden, like Barkley wasn't injury prone at Penn State, and he hasn't missed one fucking game because of injury with Philadelphia, but here he was injured all the damn time. You never know. Right? Barkley barely ever played a full season. I think he played 2 full seasons here in the 6 years he was here. Right? 5 years, however long he was here. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 years. In 6 years' time, he had 2 full seasons. Ramdre, thank you for being a member for almost 6 years. We hired McCarthy, and he can't get his team to be at least 500. This team has problems a lot deeper than I think it's a lot deeper than coaching players either. The front office, the nepotism, McDonald and Chris Mara, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're doing at all. Now, see, this is the thing. It's not the term. Barkley tore his ACL in Chicago. That wasn't the turf. Barkley sprained his ankle in Dallas when he stepped on a guy's ankle after the play, and he had a high ankle sprain. He missed like 4 weeks. what was the other one? There was another one where the first year of Daniel Jones, in the first game of Daniel Jones, he got bent backwards in Tampa. And same thing. Like, I don't know that Barkley ever actually got hurt in MetLife Stadium. Those are the three that I really remember where he got hurt, and they were all on the road. I'm not saying the turf's not trash. The turf is fucking garbage. The turf is absolute trash here. It's awful. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't know. It is what it is. So, I don't know, man. It's just tough. It's tough. Yeah. Well, Bobby says, never in my life did you ever think I'd want Mike McCarthy as a head coach? He was a bozo in Dallas. Never in my life did you ever think I would want. Oh, I trust you, man. Not my first choice, but you know, I feel like he's the safest bet. We need safe right now. We need safe. Georgia struggling. Yeah, man. 21-19. Well, Georgia has the ball near midfield. They're going to go for it all. That's underthrown. Oh, it was actually overthrown. A guy slowed down. I don't know, man. Giants are just I'm just waiting for the year to be over. I just want Sunday over. I can't wait for Black Monday, which is obviously will be January 5th. I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot to talk about. You know, there's talk of Joe Schoen come. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Yeah, but that's the thing, man. Mike McCarthy don't need to be a play caller. Get an OC in here. We just need a guy. We just need a guy with some consistency. That was a hell of a play by the Georgia quarterback right there, man. That was a hell of a play by Stockton. Once that linebacker corner committed, man, he threw that ball right behind him. That was perfect. Right there. Took a hit and delivered. That's just it. Not my favorite, but he can right the ship, and that's exactly what we need. We just need somebody to right the ship. I feel like we're fucked as long as Mara's president. I agree with that completely. I think a lot of Giants fans agree with that. That he just needs to step back and be the owner and let somebody else take over the day-to-day operations. I completely agree with that, especially with his health being the way it is. Remember last year, same time, he said if we're having this discussion at this time next year, changes can be made or whatever. He said, well, it's the same shit. It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day. You know. I don't know if they're going to get Carnell Tate. I really don't know what the Giants are going to do with that first pick. Now, if we lose Sunday, which I think it will, I guess Dak is starting. If we lose Sunday, they still have a second pick. Now, somebody might want to trade up and get quarterback, like the Jets might want to trade up and get more. I don't know. Regardless of where the Giants pick with their first pick, I can't imagine them dropping out of the top 5. But the Giants are going to take whoever they feel their BPA is. That's where I think they're going. So if they like Caleb Downs, it's going to be one of 4 people. I can't see it being anybody else. It's going to be Caleb Downs. It's going to be Arvell Reese. It's going to be Jordan Tyson. It's going to be Carnell Tate. I feel like it's going to be one of those guys. Whoever their best player is, whoever they have as number 1 as their BPA, I believe that's going to be the guy. That's going to be the guy that they they go with on their first pick. I don't know who that is. We could use all. We could use a safety the worst way. We could definitely use a number 2 wide receiver to go opposite Leak. And we could certainly set up for a field goal. And we could certainly use, you know, a linebacker without question. Without question. We could use a linebacker. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do. It'll be interesting without question. But I think you'll know more depending on what they do in free agency. That's why people say, who do you think they're going to draft? I think it's tough until you see where they are after free agency to see who they sign, who they let go. If they bring Wan'Dale Robinson back, I don't see them drafting a wide receiver. I don't see that happen. If they let Wan'Dale walk and they don't sign another wide receiver, I can imagine that's leaning that they're going to draft a wide receiver. Same thing. If they go out and they spend money and get Kobe Dean, they're probably not going to draft Arvell Reese. They still might go Caleb Downs. I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those 4 people, those 4 guys. But if the Giants do have the number 2 pick in the draft, it'll also be interesting to see how that works, because I do think they will trade down somewhere. You know, so yeah, that's the thing, man. I don't know. Mara inherited the team that won the last 2 Super Bowls. We haven't done shit since his Prince been on the team. If he stepped down from his illness, who was in charge? Krista, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know who it is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it is. UJO line getting beat in the trenches. Should be a good game, man. This actually has been a good game. But like McCarthy says, he likes Jaxson Dart. Wants him to, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. But again, if Joe Schoen is here and they don't extend his ass, and he's here as a lame duck GM, you're not going to get a top tier guy. It's just not going to happen. Mike McCarthy's not going to want to come here and go, oh, maybe if he gets fired, I'm going to lose my job. McCarthy's not going to come out of it, especially when there's going to be other opportunities to go elsewhere, where maybe the situation isn't as glowing, because going into the Giants, listen, you do have Abdul Carty, you do have Malik Neighbors, you obviously have Jaxson Dart. You see some guys, you say, I can work with this group of young guys. I can build with this. And it's intriguing. But when you're looking at Joe Schoen, that's going to take all that intrigue away. It's going to take all the, it's desirable. It won't be desirable if Joe Schoen is there as a lame duck head coach, because again, no matter what you do, if Joe Schoen is fired, you're getting fired. Who the hell wants to come in that situation? You don't want to be around for that. So again, they either got to fire him or they got to extend him. And as scary as that is for a lot of Giants fans, extending him, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. There's no in between. He can't come back in 2026 as a lame duck GM. Or what's going to happen is you're going to have another really shitty year. And then you're gonna have to go through the GM thing again and the coaching thing again. You're gonna have to do it again next year. And depending on what Jaxson Dart does, then you might go with a different quarterback. It'll be a complete shit show. But I'll say this: whatever the Giants do, guys, you know they're gonna fuck it up. Like, I've gone into years very optimistic and feeling like they're gonna turn it around and win 8, 9, 10 games. That shit they will not give me next year. I will predict that next year already. They're going to win 3 games again, and they'll be picking top 5 again in 2027. They will not win next year. They will not. They will lose a shitload of games again. They will not get me again. I will predict them to lose 12 to 15 games every fucking year from here on out until I see that they actually can win, but have winning seasons or close to winning seasons back-to-back years. They will not fool me again. That shit will not happen again. I will not go into 2026 optimistic whatsoever. Whatsoever. I don't give a fuck who their coach is. I don't care who their coordinators are. I don't care who their GM is. I don't care who they sign up for agency. I don't care who they draft. The team will not fucking get me to believe in them again until they give me a reason to believe in them again. I did not see that rumor, Larry. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see that rumor, but if he's not the GM and goes somewhere else, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Yeah, that's not. I won't get pulled into that shit. They've got me. They've got me a couple of years in a row. It will not happen again. My friend Gangrene David, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. He says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year's, my friend. Cheers, another shitty season for both of our teams, as always. He's obviously a Jets fan. Jets and Giants fans both agree. Fucking implode MetLife Stadium. It is complete and utter shit. And change ownership of both teams and start all over with both the Jets and Giants. Maybe if we combine the Jets and Giants, we could win like 6 games. He says, any coach you hire be Aaron Glenn. That dude needs to be fired, bro. He's fucking awful. He's terrible. He is absolutely awful. You got to fire him, man. He's not a head coach. He's not a head coach. He's just not. And I've never had any dislike for the Jets. The only time I really root against the Jets when they play the Giants. I don't dislike the Jets. Never have. They're not a rival. I mean, when the Jets are in the playoffs, I always root for the Jets. I got no issue with the Jets. I actually feel bad for Jets fans. I'm like, I sit here and bitch and moan about being a Giants fan. Nobody has it worse than them. I mean, at least I've seen my team win Super Bowls, like multiple Super Bowls. The Jets have been in one Super Bowl since Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. You know, and that's it. That's all they have. So you have to be shit in your 60s at least to remember that. So, I mean, I feel they have a way worse than we do. Way worse. And they don't have a quarterback. Like, at least we look like we have a quarterback. When I watch the Jets, I always feel like the Jets have one thing I'll say with the Giants. Well, that was a hell of a play right there. Holy shit. One thing I'll say about the Giants, at least now, I feel like they kind of have a plan on how to build. The Jets, I always feel like they have no fucking idea what the hell they're doing. Like, I feel like the Jets have no clue what direction they want to go. Like, where are they going? What is the Jets' identity? At least in the Giants' identity, you're kind of seeing it a little bit. You know, you have 2 incredible pass rushers in Abdul Carter and Brian Burns. Dexter Lawrence has had an off year, but he, for a long time, he's been one of the best defensive tackles. What is this kid doing right now? God, what an effort. Is Jaxson Dart still playing for Ole Miss? Is that Jaxson Dart back there? Holy shit. What an effort. Happy New Year, Janice, my lady. This is just an incredible effort. And not only that, the extra effort there by the receiver after getting stuck before right there, he takes a big hit and he bounces off and gets the first down, man. But yeah, that's the thing, David. We have a quarterback like the Giants, and you see them running the ball much more effectively this year. And that includes Jaxson Dart. And this without Scatterbo, but you see Singletary running hard. You see Tyrone Tracy running hard. I mean, the Giants were like in the top 5 rushing touchdowns in the NFL. So they're kind of getting back to that. We have a good pass rush. Secondary still ass. They have a lot to build on, but you can kind of see the direction that they want to go. The Jets, I just have no clue. And whatever the Jets do never works. Like, they're really unlucky. Like, they've had 3 quarterbacks they drafted in the top 5, and not a one of them quarterbacks made it to a second contract with the Jets. Mark Sanchez was fucking garbage anyway. He was never a good quarterback. Zach Wilson was never a good quarterback and will never be a good quarterback. He'll never be a starter in the NFL. Sam Darnold, for years, I would always joke around with Angry David and tell him Sam Darnold stinks. And I did think Sam Darnold stunk. I didn't like Darnold coming out of USC. I never am a big fan of USC quarterbacks. And I always said he stinks. But I also said when he went to Minnesota, and I'm not a fantasy guru, even though, like I said, a couple of years ago, we won back-to-back championships. We got knocked out last year in the first round of the playoffs. This year, we were 13-0 before the last week of the season. We got a bye, and then we lost in the divisional round, which just fucking sucks. So just bad luck. But obviously, the last 4 years, we've been really good. So maybe I am becoming a better fantasy football player. But I said when he went to Minnesota that guy was a sleeper fantasy pick. And that you should definitely take a look at Sam Darnold. And he had a big year. And yeah, I wouldn't say he had a big year. He had a good year, but he hasn't had a big year. But the Jets let him go when he obviously became a really good quarterback. So I just feel like the Jets just like the Giants, though, man. Look at how many guys leave the Giants and become really good players recently. This has happened to the Jets for a while, it seems like. But the Jets' biggest picks, like Quinnen Williams, like Leonard Williams, they never amount to anything with the Jets. It never turns into any kind of winning with the Jets. No, I do not want Kevin Stefanski as a Giants head coach. Absolutely fucking not. I do not want Stefanski here. Why would we want Stefanski, who is coaching a 4-win team? The Browns are fucking garbage. Why would we want him here? The Browns are terrible. Why would you take a coach that's won 4 games and bring him to a team that's won 3? I don't want that guy here. I want a guy coming that's either won in the NFL already as a retread head coach like Mike McCarthy, like Mike Tomlin if he got fired, or John Harbaugh if he got fired. I want one of those guys. Or I want a hot and up-and-coming coordinator like Kubiak, like Shula, any of these guys that are coming from the Rams or the Seahawks, or guys that are on winning football teams. I don't want a guy that's on a loser. I have those guys here. I have a losing football team already. I have a losing culture in the Giants locker room. Why would I want Kevin Stefanski? Why? I don't want that. I don't want that. Ole Miss pounds it in. They're going to go for 2. Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. We should have cleaned house last year. That's on Joe Schoen. That's on Joe Schoen. I think the 49ers are on a roll, man. I think the 49ers are going to win that game. The Panthers have beat the Bucs all year. Well, the Panthers beat the Bucs a lot. Didn't the Panthers beat the Bucs the last time they played them? But I don't know, man. That's both of those. Neither one of those teams are very good. Yeah, I understand. That's a Twitter rumor about Stefanski. And like I said, I don't want that fucking bullshit. I don't want that guy here. I don't care if it's a rumor or not. I don't want him here. That's my point. That's the point I'm making. Joe Schoen being a lame duck head coach. These are the fucking names. I mentioned it right at the top of this stream. Kevin Stefanski's a name because Joe Schoen is still our GM. Get a new GM in here. I guarantee they're not like, oh, I need Stefanski. The problem is The amount of candidates you're going to get with Joe Schoen being a lame duck head coach are going to suck. You are going to get the bottom of the barrel. You're going to get the worst candidates possible. Joe Brady's another one that pops to the top of the fucking list. Get Joe Schoen out of here and get a new GM in here. That simple. I like the Ravens. That's hard, man. It's hard for me to ever go against Tomlin because Tomlin just knows how to win. At least it seems that way. But it's hard to. But Lamar Jackson's special. I'm going to take the Steelers in that game. In the other game, I'm going to take the Bucs just because I feel like they're more experienced. And I love Baker Mayfield, if I'm being honest. Mayfield got off to a great start. He's really struggled. But I've always loved Mayfield since his days with the Sooners. So I'll pick them. But tell you what, man, the 49ers that team is on a roll. I don't know how the hell they're doing that. Kyle Shanahan needs to win Coach of the Year. He's been absolutely phenomenal. That team is beat up, torn up. They're all fucking injured, and they're just winning. They're a winning machine. And I'll tell you what, that fan base travels like nobody's business. I forgot which game I was watching for the 49ers. What the hell was the last game they played? I don't remember, man. I've been out of it, like I said, I've been out of it for like a week. I've been really sick. But it sounded like the Niner fans like took over the building. Like when I went to the Giants-Niners game this year, I could have sworn that was a Niners home game. Literally, if you were in that stadium, I don't know if you could hear it on TV, but when you were in that stadium, when the Giants had the ball, there were loud chants of defense. Well, you could hear it. Defense, like half that stadium, maybe more than half that stadium. Defense. It was crazy. It was crazy, the amount of Niner fans. They were all cool. I mean, the Niner fans are cool as hell. I had a bunch of Niner fans around me. I talked to every one of them. There are a lot of them were asking, like, what the hell's wrong with their team? Like, it's not like they follow the Giants. So they're like, what the hell is going on? Like, or they be like, I like your quarterback. I like Jaxson Dart. You got Malik, but like, why can't you guys win? And I'm like, because we don't know how to play situational football. We are the worst at that. We don't know how to close out games. We have bad coaching. And that's really it. So with that said, guys and girls, it's been an hour. I'm gonna get out of here because again, I feel better today, but I do have to get up and go to work tomorrow. So I do want to get a little bit more sleep than I normally do. If you haven't done so, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. I will be live tomorrow for the Lakers and whoever the fuck they play tomorrow. Who the hell did the Lakers play? They have an easy game tomorrow. Is it the Pelicans? The Grizzlies. So I'll be live for them. Oh, that's Sunday. That's not the game I want. Oh, they play back-to-back. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, I'll be live for the Lakers and Grizzlies tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So we'll do that like we normally do. We'll be back doing Laker basketball. Let's hope it's not another blowout, for Christ's sakes. But I'm going to go upstairs and watch the rest of this game and then pass out. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for Giants Collective. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace. And yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.